60 years ago today, Malcolm X, a Moses and prophet of his time, was assassinated in Harlem, New York. Looking back on that dark day, it is fair to ask, how has it been possible for we black people to have gone so far backwards so fast, particularly in light of the progress we did make in the decades that immediately followed Brother Malcolm's death? While the cancer of racism undoubtedly played a major role in his backward slide, a lack of self accountability on our part played a significant role as well. Too many of us focused on integration, and by this I mean in order to fit in with white society as a whole, we chose to abandon and neglect our businesses and communities of color that our forebears had spent decades building up so that we could at least have a semblance of a decent life under the yoke of American apartheid. Win the fight to bring down the white only signs, secure voting rights, and fair housing laws was initiated in full force. The intent on the part of those leading this charge was never for us to abandon our own in the process. But unfortunately, far, far too many of us did, and Brother Malcolm repeatedly warned us of the dangers of going down this path. For when you uproot yourself, you lose your sense of, of self and your understanding of who you are, and more importantly, where you came from. When this happens, it makes it much easier for our oppressors to reassert their former dominance and push us backwards. Had we collectively chosen to stay rooted in our communities and maintained our former level of support of our institutions and cultural centers, there is no way we would be in the position we are in now. For only an uprooted tree can be rolled. A rooted tree is as solid as steel. If we had remained rooted, as Brother Malcolm urged us to do, our pockets of economic strength would have been far too great to have been overthrown. And we would never have been thrown backwards as we are being thrown backwards now. The question now, therefore, is whether or not we can regroup, and the answer is yes. But make no mistake, we remain, as we always have been, a very powerful people. Even though we have repeatedly, to racist white America's benefit, underestimated our collective strength. In spite of how bad things appear right now, we're not even down, let alone out. We've been dropped to one knee and are taking an 8 count, but our fists are still cocked. They are still powerful and still ready to fly. The other question is not whether we will stay on this one knee, but rather whether or not we will drop onto our backs and allow ourselves to be counted out. We'll leap to our feet with fists flying, with the destruction of our enemies our immediate goal. I am pretty sure that Brother Malcolm would be telling us if he were still here, get up, my brothers and sisters, and get up swinging. I can't speak for any person of color other than myself, but this is one black man right here who is fully heeding Brother Malcolm's echoed call from the grave. I am up, and I am swinging, with no doubt in my mind that my aim will be sure and swift, and the blows I land brutally effective. So what about you, my fellow people of color, who are convinced you have been knocked down on your backs and are about to be counted out? Are you just going to lay there and allow racist white people to stand over you with arms upraised in victory? Or are you going to listen to Brother Malcolm and get up and do your damnedest to kick racist white Americans' ass and take names? Wherever he might be today, He already has my answer. He is waiting for yours.